Hello, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a whip and chat. I'm going to be working on this diamond painting here. Yes, I know it's sideways. It just fits better in my other table this way. This table I could actually flip it around and it'll be fine the way it is right now, but I started working on it previously, so I've already done this section here. So this is the image I'm working on right now. Autumn Wells by Alan Gianna from Dreamer Designs. And I have my drills here, stuff here, so I'm gonna zoom you in. Oop, maybe too far. Is it gonna focus? Well, perhaps it will focus at some point. Oh, it looks ish, focus-ish. All right, so I'm going to work on this section here, mainly this little roof portion here. I think I'm going to zoom you out. Maybe if I zoom out a little bit, it'll be a little bit more focused. Well, either way, you're going to see this section here. I'm going to start my timer here. All right, so let's see. What should I do first? I'm going to work on, I guess, I like working on the stuff on this left side first for whatever reason. So, there's so many colors. Sometimes when there's a lot of colors, it makes you know what? It's really blurry. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Maybe I just have too much light. Or not enough light. Okay, I think it's the not enough light, because I think it's zoomed in. Well, let's just leave it there, because I think that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. So I'm going to work on this section here. The one problem is when you have like these things, you kind of have to just kind of put the jar next to it in the right orientation when you're working on it. When it's not, wait, hold on. All right, I realized I left my phone in the other room. Yeah, no, I have to have my phone here. So yes, you could see very prepared for this video. I'm actually recording this on Monday. You're gonna see it on the following Wednesday. So yeah, not ahead of schedule like I normally am a little bit. I usually record this video during the weekend. It was just, okay, so on Friday, this past Friday, I went and got my flu shot and my COVID booster, and I didn't have too many symptoms my previous COVID booster, but this one, yeah, I kind of got a little knocked out. I was tired. My head hurt a little bit. I still diamond painted, but I was planning to record a whole bunch of things on Saturday, and it just didn't happen. I was just like, I just didn't feel energetic enough to actually record and talk and diamond paint at the same time. So I think that's why I was like, okay, I don't think I could do anything today or on Saturday. So yeah, my Saturday was pretty much a bust. I was planning to, in the morning, pressure wash my driveway. I had the stuff already. I had like the, I bought some driveway concentrate. I don't know. It's supposed to be for the driveway, because I have some moss or something growing on my driveway, and I wanted to clean it up before, the HOA decides your driveway is no good. So I'm trying to do a preemptive thing. And plus it kind of doesn't look nice with the moss on my driveway. So I was planning to do that on Saturday morning, and yeah. I didn't feel too bad Saturday morning, but I could kind of feel like my head was starting to hurt. Like I was like, yep, that was not happening for whatever reason. So Saturday afternoon, when I was planning to do after pressure washing and all that stuff, when I was planning to do spam risk. I keep getting all these calls that I get like the thing that says spam risk on there. Well, that could just go to voicemail or whatever. They could leave me a message. I'm not sure if you could hear my phone like vibrating on the side there. But yeah, nope. The booster hit me. Or it was a combination of me getting the flu shot and the COVID booster on the same day. They like shot one arm and they shot the other arm with the other one. So yeah, I don't normally get any symptoms from the flu shot. I've been actually getting the flu shot pretty much every year, like almost religiously kind of thing. After my mom got the flu one year, when I was younger, she pretty much dragged me to Kaiser, because that's what we had when we were in California, and that's what I actually still have when I'm now in Washington. She dragged me to Kaiser on there was like the Kaiser that we went to in California had, like, the first day the flu shot was available, they would have these flu shot like days or something where it was like a Saturday and you came in and they were just kind of like, there was just a line of folks getting the flu shot, and they kind of made it an event where they gave like free tote bags and like free, like I remember getting a free tote bag, and I think I got a stress ball and things like that during that. I don't know if they do that here, but I was like, okay, I might as well just get both. So yeah, Saturday, complete, like my weekend, yeah, didn't get as much done as I was hoping, and hence why I'm recording this on Monday. I was thinking of just writing, like, I have another kitting up video that I could put on Wednesday, but I was just like, nah, let's do this video. I have stuff to talk about, and I don't feel bad anymore. It was just that day. It was, this is what I noticed. I don't know if you could tell, like, see this 6 here? It's like this not so green, and then on the canvas, it's like super green. I'm not even sure if you can see that 6. I wish it would be more focused, but I'm like not sure how to get this to focus. Maybe it's just too shiny. Maybe if I move you down a little bit, will it focus? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this here is supposed to be the 6, and it's like a completely different color than what's on the bottle. It kind of throws me off too, because I kind of use that color swatch that's on the sticker to help me find my drills right away. And, well, that's not helping me find my drills right away. So I'm pondering, like, do you even see what I'm doing, considering I'm like, my hand is massive and I'm just filling it up. But yeah, Saturday, completely unproductive. I ended up I did diamond paint. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna diamond paint because I just didn't have enough energy to do anything else. So but I diamond painted for like 2 hours, and after that I was like, yeah, I don't think I could keep going. So I ended up binge watching stuff. I think I binge watched stuff on Hulu, and I just found a random thing to watch, and I just kept watching. I actually found I was entertained. It was some anime on Hulu. It was called Spy X Family, or no, yeah, Spy X Family X Spy, or it was Spy X Family, Spy Family. I don't know if you pronounce the X. I was actually very entertained by it. The premise of it was there was this 2 fictional countries. I think they were probably fake European countries. I kind of felt that's what the vibe that they were going for. they were doing there was some sort of tension and possibility of war or something erupting, and one country had this spy that they needed to infiltrate some school because some other leader or someone important child went to that school or anything. But this was like some undercover spy person that was like, okay, now I have to make a fake family. So he went and got a child from an orphanage. Yes, it sounds very actually sad. To pretend to be his child so that he could infiltrate the school. Yeah, it sounds actually, the premise of it sounds very serious, but it actually is more of a funny haha show. But I was thoroughly entertained. I actually finished binge watching the whole thing that was on Hulu. There was only one season as far as I saw. I was like, oh man. But yeah, that was my completely unproductive Saturday. Sunday I actually felt a little bit better, so I recorded 2 kitting downs. And then I recorded some finishes of some of my unboxings. So yeah, I have my unboxings finished for next week and for this week and then the following week. Those are done. And at least I had my kitting up already recorded last weekend, so I had that one ready, see? And I could have just been like, sorry, no video, didn't feel well. But no, I like to try to keep, I try to keep on some posting schedule, and I enjoy making these videos. I probably would not be doing this channel anymore if I didn't enjoy these videos. Well, at least making them. So let's see. That was my weekend. My plans thwarted. Oh no! I also went so Sunday I was feeling better. But I had ordered frames on Friday that I was planning to pick up on Sunday, and when you order frames I ordered them from Michael's because they're having a sale on frames right now. So I was able to get buy one get two free sale for frames. I'm actually very tempted to do it again because now I have a 15% off coupon that actually still works on sale prices, so I could get more frames. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, so I bought a bunch of frames. The thing is though, I bought it online so I could pick it up, because sometimes frames, there's only usually a finite amount, so I do tend to actually buy those online and then pick it up at store, because the closest Michael's to me requires me driving 20 minutes. So I'm not going to go to Michael's and find out, oh no, it's not in stock. So I ended up going to the one that's a little bit farther away from me. I have one Michael's that's maybe about 15 minutes away and one that's about 20 minutes away. I had to go to the one that was about 20 minutes away. But that's okay. I combined it with my Costco trip. So yeah, went to Michael's, bought a whole bunch of frames. I bought 8 frames. 3 18 by 24, 3 60 by 20s, and 2, this one was not buy one, get 2 free, but it was 50% off. I bought 2 24 by 32, and that's the one that's good for 60 by 80s, which seems to be the diamond painting, the size I get when it's big. That seems to be the size I end up getting. But the more common frame is the 24 by 36, but that would be a 60 by 90. And I actually don't see as many 60 by 90 diamond paintings as much as the 60 by 80 ones. Like this one is a 60 by 80. So yeah, now I have a frame for this picture whenever it's done. So yeah. Ready for framing, and then now that I have some 16 by 20s, because the last time there was one of these sales, the 16 by 20s, I don't know. They must get sold out quickly because I wasn't able to get 3 of them. And I bought them in black because I figure black would be the easiest one to match a diamond painting that I don't even know what I'm gonna frame, because I don't know if you realize I just kind of diamond paint. I don't know what I'm gonna diamond paint next. Sometimes what I decide to diamond paint next is a completely different thing than what I was originally planning. So yeah. So I just bought a bunch of the black frame. But the last time 16 by 20s, for whatever reason, I was like, okay, this must be the one that people buy. I could buy the ones that were not black, but I just wanted to buy the black ones. So what is this? The check mark. Too many symbols, too many symbols. Where did I put it? I kind of put everything in order of symbols, but sometimes when you have so many symbols, you're like, oh, there's my check mark. Oh, okay, let's check. So this week at work, it's actually going to be a little bit busy. So tomorrow, I'm going to be, they're doing, like, every year my workplace does this fundraiser where you can donate money to different charities. Like, you could just do a payroll deduction, so you could, I guess, pay with your pre-tax dollars. But we usually do have, like, events during they call it a drive during the fundraising drive or whatever. So, but you could choose, there's a whole bunch of charities that you could choose from. But tomorrow we're at work, we're gonna do, they called it the ice cream social. So you're gonna pay per scoop and it goes to whatever the charity that, what did we end up choosing? I don't remember. It had to do with something with Kitsap County, which is where I work, Kitsap County. It was some Kitsap County charity. But yeah, tomorrow we're doing an ice cream social. So I think, I don't know. Like I said, it was just like, I kind of just look at the emails and things like that, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy some ice cream or eat some ice cream, or buy and eat some ice cream, and donate money. But in addition to that, all the supervisors at my work agreed to bid a pie in the face. Bidding, like, I don't know, like, we volunteered to get pie in our face for the fundraiser. So folks are bidding on who gets the winning throw, I guess. So tomorrow, as one of the supervisors, I guess I'm getting pie thrown at my face. At first, when my coworker who's was in charge of setting up this I guess fundraiser kind of thing asked me about it, I was like, I don't know. Like, I was thinking, the poor pie, that's like such a massive waste of pie. But what I found out is she didn't really mean pie. She meant, like, we're gonna get a paper plate and put some whipped cream on it, and that is what's gonna get hit in my face. So only whipped cream. I was like, oh, okay, because I was just like, I don't want to waste the whole pie on that. I'm like, I'd rather eat the pie. But so yeah, tomorrow I am apparently going to get pied in the face. I already saw people bid, so I know there is going to be at least someone throwing a pie in my face. Or at least whipped cream in my face. And I figure I'll just, unless it's like an obscene amount, I'll just match the donation for the pie in the face. The other supervisor was like, well, anyone who signed up to give a donation, I'll let them all put pie in my face one by one. And I was like, no, I'll just do the ones, but I'll match the winning bid. So yeah, tomorrow, ice cream and pie in my, or whipped cream in my face at least. The things I agree to. But yeah, the things I agree to. But also this week on Wednesday and Thursday were actually the supervisors in my group. We're going to go on a field trip to one of the other locations. One of the other office locations, which is in Union Gap. I've never been to Union Gap. This is one of the AVs. I think when I looked it up, it's in Yakima County, so never been to Yakima either. So new place. So it's about like 3.5 hours, I think, or 3 to 4 hours. Like, yeah, I think 3.5 to 4 hours away from where I am, and so it'll be one of those. It'll be an overnight trip. So we're actually going on Wednesday. Like the three. No wait, there's 4 of us. There's 4 supervisors at my location, and we're all going to go and. Well, there's 3 supervisors and 1 lab director. We're all going to Union Gap for the management meeting. They did have the previous management meeting was in July, and they actually had it in our location, so I didn't have to go anywhere, but this time it's someone else's location. So now I have to go over, but it'll be interesting. Like I said, I've never been to that area. And I know we're gonna, I don't remember. There's stuff in the itinerary. See, what's nice though is, unlike the last meeting, which was at my location, and therefore I had to do a lot of extra work to do presentations, and it was a lot more stressful. Now I'm just like, I'm just going, which is awesome. Now it's just gonna be, I'm going. Don't have to worry about making a presentation. It's just more of a, now I'm participating, which is sometimes the better thing, right? This one is the one that looks like a phone or a staple. Is it this one? See, the problem is this one also has the staple, this one, but yeah. I just want to make sure it's that one, yeah. I mean, the other one is a different color. But some of them are not as obvious. Oops, wrong pen. So I'm going to go to have a field trip tomorrow, or Wednesday. I guess. Field trip, overnight thing. Pondering whether I should bring a diamond painting. I'll have to bring one of my small ones. Okay, see, this is where I get confused by this one. It's one of these, and look at this, This is like, okay. It's actually this one. Oh, and then this one right here is actually the other one. So, yeah. So, and that's why I'm recording this today. I don't know. No, wait, no, why? Yeah, I'm recording. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I came home from work. Normally I diamond paint in quiet, or where I don't say anything. So that's that one. Is the other one. This one is actually in more places. Let's see. I don't normally talk in diamond paint on the non-weekend day. After work, yeah. Work today. I kind of feel like, yeah. That's what I feel like right now. There was like, yeah, there was, I kind of feel like sometimes we're fighting. Like, I feel like we're all working for one place, but then, we're fighting with other groups. Well, not fighting. I don't know. Like, we're having some computer issues. So I'm not a IT person. I'm not a computer person. I'm not horrible at computers, but, you know, I'm a scientist, not a IT person. So, I know my strengths. I don't know enough about all of that stuff. And they're having computer issues with one of our computers where the software is just not installing. And the problem is the computer folk are being like, it's our problem and it's outside of their job classification. Like, no, there was a meeting last week. It was so, I was after it, I was just like, I was cordial during the meeting. And then, like, after it, I was like, I went to my other coworkers who work with me because they were in the meeting too. And I was like, was it me or did it feel like they didn't want to help us? I was like, they're the computer folks. What they were making, they were complaining that what we were asking them to do was outside of their like job classification. And then I was like, well, what are we supposed to do? We need help on this thing, and we're not. I feel like half of the problems were made because we were forced to do a update and it wasn't work. The stuff didn't work with the update, and they're just like, well, you need to talk to the software, the people, the manufacturers of the software. And I'm like, okay. It was just the weirdest thing. Like, after the meeting, I was like, well, they made it sound like it was not their job, but it's not my job either. The IT folk get way more money than us, and you're telling me it's outside of your job classification, but it's not in our job classification either as the scientists. So who's going to do this stuff? You're just kind of forcing us to have to do it ourselves, even though you're not giving us enough administrator rights to fix the stuff on the computer. It was the weirdest. It was like the weirdest meeting. I felt after the meeting, I was like, okay, unless I'm crazy. That's why I went to talk to my other coworker who was on the call, and I was like, is it me or they don't want to help us? Like, what they're saying is they're not willing to learn this different type of software like knowledge because it's like only for us or something. It's like, yes, I know we have scientific instrumentation. We don't need computers that all they're going to do is get email. We need computers that are going to be able to run the instrument, run the software, run the analytical software. It's more involved than here's Outlook, and here's a web browser and stuff like that. And I feel like I feel like it's outside of their depth too. They're just like, it's not our problem. You guys figure it out yourself. And I'm thinking in my brain, you guys are the ones making the big bucks. I don't know. It was just the strangest meeting. I felt like instead of us coming together and saying, okay, what do we need to do to help you guys out? They were more like, you just need to talk to the vendor of the software. And I'm like, well, shouldn't you guys be the one talking to the vendor of the software if it's not working for us and not us? I don't know. All I know is yeah. I kind of feel like it was almost like a weird power play kind of thing. I have no idea. It was just after the meeting, I just kind of felt like, okay, I don't feel better at all. And when I was trying to ask them, so, okay, you're not willing to help us on this, So what are you willing to do? It was just a lot of weird, yeah, it was weirdness. It was like, yeah, no, last week I just kind of felt like, eh. And yeah, eh. That's what I felt last week. Eh. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I felt. I was like, okay, so you're just gonna leave us to flounder because it's not your problem. But it's our problem, but it's not your problem because it's outside of your job classification, but it's our problem even though it's also outside of our job classification. So whose job is it? Some unknown IT person that doesn't exist because you guys don't want to help us? Yeah, it was, yeah, like I said, it was weird. After that meeting, I just felt like, okay, we're gonna get zero support. Now I was thinking, okay, what do I need to do to train to learn how to do this ourselves? Because obviously those folks are not willing to help us out. Yeah, no, it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I was just like, okay, you're not willing to help us out. It's because the last computer person that was assigned to us, he retired and he was awesome and he helped us out, and then the new person, he's actually pretty good too. It's just now that there's a new person, he doesn't just go off and do his own thing. He's still answering to someone else, and then now that it's a new person, the supervisor was like, well, the supervisor about the guy who retired was like, well, he was doing work that he shouldn't have been doing. And I'm like, okay, so if he wasn't supposed to do it, who's supposed to do it? And it was, yeah, I kind of felt like they were like, okay, I know you guys, I kind of felt like what was happening was the IT folk knew that we had some software issues because the computers, okay, so usually these instruments that we buy, the scientific instruments, come with their own computer that is, set up to run the instrument by the manufacturer of the instrument. The problem is my workplace does not allow us to use outside computers that were not set up by IT. Well, the problem is the computers set up by IT don't work with the software. And then when we're trying to troubleshoot how to get the software to work, IT is like, that's not our problem. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all your fault why the software is not working, because something you put into the computer is messing with the installation of the software. And I feel like if you guys are not willing to let us use the software, the computer that's provided by the vendor, then you need to come here and install the software or talk to the vendor how to install the software. But we're not getting that support either. It was, yeah, it's obscene. Like, see, I'm still unhappy about it. So this one I decided to replace with my own AB. So let's see, 350, I use 606. I just have to find it. So yeah, for this color here, I decided to use this one here, even though it is a different AB. It just was a close enough match, I think. So even though this thing has already like 6 ABs, I did add, so far I've added 2. One more, a red AB and 1 green AB. There was no green AB, so I was like, okay, let's add a green AB. I actually wanted to do a different, when I was looking at the pattern, I was like, I wanted to do a different one, but I don't have a AB color that was a good match, so I ended up using a different green AB than what I wanted, but it's what I had. Yeah, okay. Now I should just stop talking about fighting with IT, because it's just gonna... That's what I felt last week, and I still... Okay, now it's this one. No, it's not this one. It's this one. See, look at this. This is horrible. Like, look at this. They're both brown colors, and this is the symbols. So now this one is this one. This is why I'm not a big fan of the ones with, I'm not a big fan of the ones with the carrots, the triangles, and things like that, because they do start looking the same. But yeah. Hopefully this week, you know, it'll be kind of a field trip, and we're doing the fundraising thing, so that will be a fun activity, even though I am going to get whipped cream in the face. Yeah. Hopefully this week will be a better week. But yeah, no, it was, yeah, like last week, just the computer things was just really annoying, because yeah, I kind of felt like they weren't willing to help us. Okay, let me not talk about that anymore, because that's just, I'm still angry about it. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about something nicer. So YouTube milestones. Last week I got to, or was it the week before? It was either last week or the week before, I got to 4,500 subscribers. Thank you guys. I highly appreciate it. I'm like 500 away from getting 5,000, which is crazy. So thank you guys for subscribing, liking, commenting, and all that. I would not keep doing this channel if I didn't have the continued support from the viewers, so thank you. And I also got to 850,000 views, which is like, I'm like getting this close. I'm getting closer to my 1,000,000 view goal. Well, that's my next goal. It sounds cool to say I have 1,000,000 views. And considering my channel has really long videos, I think getting to 1,000,000 views is a nice goal. And also, this coming Sunday is actually my 2-year YouTube anniversary. Yes, I have been doing this channel for almost 2 years, which is crazy. Yeah, my first video was October 2, 2020. So I was thinking of putting in a video on Sunday, but I don't think I will. I was like, yeah, because it just happens to be on a Sunday. But yeah, like I said, I don't think I will. I don't think I have enough time. I don't have a backlog of videos, so I have to make videos. But yeah, I can't believe I'm actually still doing this after 2 years. I thought I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run out of things to talk about. And maybe I'll get sick of diamond painting and not do this channel anymore. But yeah, here it is, 2 years later, doing the channel. More than 2 years diamond painting, and I still really enjoy the craft. It's the craft that I have enjoyed the most, that I have not gotten sick of, even though I've done a lot of diamond paintings. I've done a lot of diamond paintings. Yes, a lot. So yeah. I'll probably make some sort of video next week. One of my videos next week. I think my kitting up, I'll do my kitting up video next week, which I haven't recorded yet. I think I'll do some sort of talking about the first 2 years kind of thing. That's what I'll do. Haven't made it yet, so. I'm also thinking next week or the following week. I was thinking, okay, so I had done my finishes for the first 6 months video, which was January to June. And it takes actually a lot of effort to do one of those videos in like one go. So I think what I might do is, for the last half of the year, do the 3 months do like every 3 months instead of every 6 months. So I'm thinking about it. I might make my finish video from July to September. So that will be, you know, this third quarter of the year. And it'll make it a much more manageable size of finishes to put together as opposed to when I was doing my 6 months. Because I do a lot of small projects, so just like gathering all these finishes together actually is an endeavor. And my finishes are not as organized, unless they're in my portfolio book, they're not as organized as a lot of my drills or something. Or my journal, which is a nice lovely book. So it does take a little bit to put it together. So I think I might do that instead. So I'll do and then I'll see if that will be something that carries on to next year, where instead of I do the 6 months, I'll do a quarterly. Instead of the semi-annual, I'll do quarterly finish compilations. And I think that will put it into a more reasonable quantity. Because yeah, like I said, I do a lot of the small partial projects. And then, you know, I should do it because I was thinking also, I have said that I do plan to give away my keychains and I think some of my smaller other items, like I have bookmarks, I have some bookmarks, I have some stickers, and things like that. I was planning to give them away during Halloween. I'm hoping folks will take it away. So I won't have the finishes anymore for all those keychains and things after October 31st, hopefully. I'm like really banking on folks taking my stuff. So I might as well, I should just do it now before I'll be like, well, nope, I gave that away. Nope, I gave that away. Nope. Otherwise, yeah, there'll be a lot of that in the video. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. It'll if I do that, it'll be either next Wednesday or the following Wednesday video. Depends on, yeah, depends on what I end up recording this weekend. Either way, if I record a WIP and chat or that, it'll probably take me just as long, because the WIP and chats actually are not that hard for me to do, because even if it's like an hour-long WIP and chat, it only really takes just about that hour to record it, while the compilation video requires me finding everything, putting them in some sort of semblance of order, and then doing the video. So it does take some time. It does take some time. At least it's a good thing I kind of picked a relatively easy section here, because the other sections were a little bit more confetti heavy. Like the section that was like here, this was a little bit more confetti heavy, and this one just happens to be a little bit easier, I think, to do while I'm doing all this talking. So yeah, that's the thing I'll do next week. Yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have all my unboxings done for next week. They're done recording. I still have to put together the video. Like, one of them is actually processing right now in the background. That's the video for that's actually the video for Thursday. You see, I'm so behind that. And then after this is done, I'm going to have to process this video, because I see I'm at the 44-minute mark already. So this is going to be a longer than 46-minute video. So I'm going to have to put the two videos together, because my recording device only records like a 46-minute video, and then it stops and starts up another one. And you might notice that like a second or two is gone from the video. I could probably stop and press start so that nothing ever stops and goes away on this video, but I won't. I'm like in this groove of diamond painting this. So yes, I'm behind. And yeah, but I have next week's unboxings finished. And ooh, and next week's Kitting Up already finished. I mean, Kitting Down. So I only have to record Wednesday and Friday's video for next week after I finish this video. So kind of ahead because I do kind of binge record my videos. So, but I usually binge record similar types at the same time. So the WIP and chats usually actually is the last WIP and chat, and my Kitting, well, yeah, my WIP and chat usually the last video I record. Oh no. Usually my last video that I record is actually the unboxing part of my unboxing. You know how I do the unboxing and then I put a finish at the end? Usually the unboxing part is the last one I record during the weekend, because then because after an unboxing I have this massive mess of stuff because I just have all these diamond paintings that I unboxed. So yeah, I don't even know what I do. It just gets done. It's like clockwork now. Okay, this symbol here, it's too many symbols. It's the one with the triangles. So it's this one. All right, wait, I didn't answer questions. I actually didn't have that many questions. If you commented on my last WIP and chat last week, I have no idea why, but YouTube pretty much put video, but like I think 4 made it through or something like that on Wednesday last week. So if you made an effort to make a comment in last week's WIP and chat and you're pondering where in the world the comment is, I have no idea where the comment is, because see, the thing is, I noticed that the comments were going into the held for review, which means that YouTube, for whatever reason, viewed your comment as potentially inappropriate. And so then I saw it in the held for review thing, and for whatever reason, when I click approve of the message, so I saw it, I was like, oh, I read your message really quickly, and I click approve. It disappeared from my held for review section, and then it disappeared. I was like, huh. And I thought, okay, maybe it'll just take a while to go from that to go into my regular comment inbox. Nope, it just disappeared. So I apologize if your comments got put into, I apologize, but I thank you guys for making the effort to put in a comment, but I have no idea why YouTube pretty much thought like 70% of my comments were inappropriate in some way. I don't know if 70% is the right way, but a majority of the comments were got put into held for review, and after I approved them, it disappeared. I don't know. Usually if I do the approve thing, it goes into my regular comments inbox, but yeah, it disappeared instead, and I was just, yeah. So, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm hoping it'll just pop up at some point on my comment feed, but it disappeared instead. So so there is a setting on YouTube where I can hold for review the potentially inappropriate comments. I have turned that off now. So but I've had that on for a long time, so I don't know what happened between, I don't know what happens last Wednesday, but I turned off filtered that. So hopefully nothing too funky gets through. I did still keep the filter not allow anything with links unless it's me thing, though, because that one does take a good amount of the spam comments out. But yeah, what's up with YouTube's filtering last week because it was overly filtering things. So if you ever wonder why you put a comment in and it never shows up, it could be that YouTube filtered it. And I didn't used to look at my held for review, but I just thought it was weird that YouTube said I had like 20 something comments and all I saw was like 3 at the time, or 4, was it? Yeah. And so then I was like, did it get held for review? And yep, held for review. A majority of the comments went in there. So I have since turned off the filter for the, I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea what changed in whatever YouTube's programming was, but it pretty much made everyone's review or comment go away. Alright, so I'm gonna answer the questions in the comments. There's actually not too many, because I'm actually not that behind in answering comments. Actually, like, you know, physically typing, answering comments. I went through a binge comment answering last week. So Barbara asks, Joan, I'm watching one of your older videos and you mentioned you start on the lower right corner. Is there a reason for this? You know what? I've changed my strategy on how I decide where I want to start. I used to start like at the bottom right corner, because what would happen is I would diamond paint and I just kind of wanted to, for whatever reason, I liked it better that the finished stuff was the one going into my lap as opposed to the unfinished canvas. I have since changed my strategy from then. So now what I do is, like, for something like this, I'm actually in the middle of the canvas. So I start at the top left of the middle of the canvas. And then I work my way down, left to right. And then I flip the canvas around and I start up again in the middle again. And the reason I do that is that way what's on my lap is only at most half of the diamond painting, as opposed to like the full diamond painting. And I've been pretty much doing that since this summer. I actually been doing the bottom right for a while, and it was just this summer where it was hot and the drills were sticking to me that caused me to switch in this direction, because what was happening is my arm would pick up the drills on the finished section. So now I have the finished section be moved away from me, and I think it's worked out, and I think I kind of like it this way, because the center part of the diamond painting is usually the most difficult part of a diamond painting. So, and usually the beginning of you diamond painting is the time you're actually the most motivated to diamond paint something. So it's probably better for you to do the hardest part in the beginning when you're most motivated to do the diamond painting, and then leave the easy stuff to the end when you're less motivated. Does that make sense? It's not going to work out for this because the edge, I'm doing it sideways, so I'm doing it this way. So I'm doing like this section right here. So now when I end it, it's gonna actually end with this section here, and that's like not the easy section. But usually, if it's like if it's like this way, yeah, no, this is just a complicated one. Usually at the end you'd have like the sky or just this grass portion. So it usually does work out for me. So yeah, usually I would do the middle and then go down, and then I'd work from there. And usually I'm doing my diamond painting sideways just because it fits my table better. But if it was a smaller one, if I do the middle down, I get used to the symbols in the upright way, that by the time I go upside down, I'll be so used to the symbols that it doesn't matter that it's upside down. I've noticed I don't even notice anymore when things are upside down. Only I could do letters in whatever orientation. It's just these triangles drive me crazy. At least this one, it's not like a confetti heavy section with triangles or something. Oh wait, I didn't finish reading your question. Yeah, she says, Barbara says, I usually start at the top left corner and then go towards, that's going towards the top, and instead of to the, oh wait. So she usually says she starts at the top left corner, and she says it's the boring part of the same color. So see, I kind of do it the opposite way. I kind of want to do the boring part last because at the end, you just want to be finished. And when the easy part is at the end, guess what? The finish is so much closer than if the hard part was at the end. And at the end, you're just like, oh, I just want to finish. Not the, oh my gosh, there's so much confetti. But yeah, I've been, my strategy now has been actually to start at the center, go down, turn it around, and then start at the center again, and then go down. But that's more actually go up. But all right. And I think someone asked me about squares and multi-placing with them. And I find the easiest thing to do is, if I have an edge, is just to use the other edge to put it into place. And if you're having a hard time multi-placing, I highly suggest trying the multi-placing in this up and down fashion instead of this way. I find it easier. I mean, this diamond painting just happened to work out really well to do the up and down diamond painting, but I find it easier to diamond paint this direction. And I also usually use one of the corner or one of the sides to help me out. See, now that I'm talking about diamond multi-placing. But yeah, no, I kind of try to do a straight enough line. And if you're having a hard time with the straight, putting the, like if it's a confetti heavy section with squares, you could also use tweezers. I find when using the tweezers, I have the most control over the drills. And like in a place that's confetti heavy, sometimes that is what you end up using, the tweezers. I've gotten pretty good, I think, at multi-placing and single placing squares now that I don't use the tweezers, but I had in the past used tweezers to help me multi-place. This one has a hole. That's what I notice in resin drills, is they do tend to have holes at the top. But the square resin drills tend to have, I feel like they fit better because they have straight sides, as opposed to acrylic drills that have a more like, the sides are like this as opposed to straight. Okay, I think I got all of this one. So I think I noticed that this thing here is actually a lantern, I think. I can't tell from the picture because I think it's tiny, but I think this is supposed to be a lantern here. And so this is, I guess, the part with the light. So it's 3799. So I think what I'm going to do is, it's a dark gray. I'm going to find a rhinestone because I like using rhinestones for my lights. Okay, so grays. Ooh, wait, look at this, look at this. I actually have a 3799 crystal rhinestone. I have very little of it. It must have been in one of my diamond paintings. That works out. I don't have to even choose one. So I was like looking, I was like, that's a light fixture. So this worked out. So I'm going to use the crystal rhinestone for the light part of the lantern. There. I don't know if you heard my fire smoke detector made a beeping sound. I wonder if that means I have to change the battery. So that worked out. I didn't even have to. I have a couple other grays. I was like, I have this gray here. It's a much lighter gray. And then, yeah, no, that one's a much lighter one. I probably would have chosen that even if it didn't match the DMC because that was my darkest gray square rhinestone. So there, I was like, there's my light fixture there. Oh my gosh, I probably will have to change my light bulb. Okay, that symbol. What is that symbol? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, no, I think I did this one earlier. I must have just missed that one there. So there, let's see. Oh. See, I don't do the left and right as well of my multi-placing. Oh wait, there's still one more over in this corner. Okay, so this is all C. I don't think I've used C yet. This thing was full, but I'll use a good chunk of it. That's why I'm not too worried about when oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to change that battery. I'm not too worried when I fill these things up to the brim because once I use it once, unless it's unfortunately one of those places where I only need one, I'll end up using it up. I do have to spread this one out a little bit. There is a little bit of gapping in this diamond painting, so this is why I kind of am one of those ones that always complain about the gapping, because if there's actually minimal gapping, it's actually not too bad. It does make it easier to multi-place because then you're not having to spread things out a lot. But it's not actually too bad, the gapping on this one. It's actually a pretty decent, the minimal gapping. So, and I noticed that this is one of their newer ones. I think the gapping is actually much better than the last Dreamer designs I did. So, I think they're improving. And I know they're supposed to come out with a new kit next. Like, I kind of wish it was this one because so far I haven't liked any of their new stuff yet. So I'm going to wait until I find something. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It was just none of them was a must buy. So I might wait till Black Friday or something to try it out. Their new sets, their new kits with the new, they're supposed, like, yeah, it says they're supposed to be new. A new canvas, which I hope their new canvas, they fix the fraying problem that I get where the canvas kind of does flake off at the scalloped edges, and then it was annoying. When I don't see it right now because I'm not working at any of the edges, but once I start working at the edges, I'm gonna be like, it does start fraying a little bit. So I'm hoping their new stuff doesn't fray. It's supposed to be a new canvas. All right. There's a... Yep. There. So tweezers are your friend also during diamond painting. But yeah, no, it's like I said, there is some gapping, but it's actually pretty. This one's actually pretty good. Like the fact that you can hear the crunching there is a good thing. That means there's minimal space in there, and you could hear the snapping into place kind of thing. Which, like I said, is a good thing. Oh wait, there's still some more C up here. All right, oop. So thank you, Barbara. Yes, that was an old video, and that's how I used to start at the bottom right corner. But I have since start at the top left corner. One good thing is it's not too hot right now, so I have not had the problem of the drill sticking to me, which I've been having during the summer. And someone suggested that I put a piece of parchment paper on the part that's done, which I could probably do, but I haven't found them sticking on me, so I'm good with this one. Is the moon, half moon. All right, so MS Yankee asked, how do the angled tips help? Also, this was during one of my unboxings, and where I used the angled tip for diamond painting. So I do have this angled tip, and I really like it because then now I'm not holding the diamond painting like this. I'm not holding the pen like this. I'm holding the pen like this, so my wrist is actually much lower. The thing is, I just couldn't, like, it's much harder for me to do it with the squares, so I've only really used this for rounds. Although, maybe I'm getting, no, see, it's a little lopsided there. So yeah, I never got used to using it. I never got a good technique to use it for squares, so I've been using it only for rounds. But yeah, I do really like it. It just helps you so that you're not holding your pen tip like that all the time. Man, I really like these. Sometimes these hand-charted diamond paintings are so much easier than the computer-generated ones just because there's not as much confetti. But I kind of almost prefer sometimes I prefer the computer-generated ones because they look more like the original image than the hand-charted ones, because with the hand-charting it does kind of give more boxy lines, and yeah, it gives more boxy lines, and it also usually, I feel, simplifies the image, but it does make a really good defined picture. And if you just didn't see the original image, you're like, ooh, that looks really awesome. Yeah, it sounds like my smoke detector wants me to change the battery. At least it started doing this now while it's daylight and not like at night. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't know anymore. But yeah, no, these ones with the hand charting is so much easier. So much easier. If you're used to these type of diamond paintings and then you go to a diamond painting that's computer generated, you're going to be so shocked at how hard those are compared. That's why I always found it funny when folks are like, oh, the Chuck Pinsons have so much confetti. I was like, I don't know about that. Have you done a diamond painting from AliExpress? Those things have so much confetti. And I mean, this one, this is so much color blocking here. So much color blocking. Makes it much easier to do. Okay. So, thank you, Miss Yankee. So Judy was watching a really old video. Well, it's not that really. I thought it was my 2020 video. It's my 2022 finish video, January to June. She's asking, what do I use to mount my diamond paintings? Is it black poster board? No, it's actually black construction paper. I find that you could buy it relatively cheap on Amazon at the really big, well, my big size is 18 by 24. And where did you get the book that you record all your info? It's nice and you keep all of those good records of yours. I would love to have one. Yeah, no, this here, I made it myself. So, I do have the templates in my shared templates folder. I mean, shared templates link in the video description. It should be in my links. There's a link to my shared templates, and my template for the journal is in there. I notice I'm missing a 310 right here. I don't know, when you guys notice that you missed something that you've already done, do you just go to it and finish it, or do you just look at it at the end and just go back to it at the end? I usually just try to just do it then, because I see it. And I might not see it later on in the end when I'm looking at it. So yeah, the black construction paper, and I made my journal myself. But my templates are shared, and you could print them out yourself. And I did make a video about how I make my journal. It should be in my journal playlist. I made a separate playlist for my journal. And if you don't know, yeah, I have a playlist that has my unboxings. I have a playlist for kitting down. I have a playlist for kitting up. I have a playlist for my WIP and chats, and I have a playlist for, I call it my how-to videos. I need to do more of those. And I have a playlist for my journals. If you want to know, my most popular playlist by watch hours is actually my kitting down playlist. I'm guessing some of you guys go and just turn on my kitting down playlist and just let it churn through. It's hours and hours and hours. If you need hours and hours of stuff to watch kitting down, I have. Those tend to be some of my longest videos. Yep. Hopefully that thing is still beeping after the end of, after I'm done with this video, so that I remember, it'll remind me to change the battery. I do end up having to change the battery to my smoke detectors next to my kitchen, because I swear I do anything and it sets off the smoke detectors. So I think the fact that they get turned on a lot probably sucks up the battery. And that's not because I'm well, I could be burning things, but I think what happens is my kitchen has one of those I don't know what you call them. I'm trying to think of the blower over the stove. It's actually under my microwave, which is over the stove, and I think those systems just are not as efficient as a separate system. So yeah, it doesn't suck up the cooking smoke as well, and it turns on the fire detector. And sometimes if I air fry something, it goes off, and I don't have my air fryer under any sort of smoke vent. I don't know. I'm trying to think what it's called. Yeah. The thing over your stove that's supposed to suck up the smoke. That thing, which I'm blanking on what it's called. So yeah, I do end up having to replace my battery relatively more often, you know, than like my stuff that's in the bedrooms and my smoke detectors in the bedrooms. Those go on the normal schedule. of replacing the two that are next to my kitchen. They go off all the time. I wonder if my neighbors could hear it and think I'm just like burning down the house, but I don't think so. I don't really hear anything from them unless they're outside, so I think there's enough insulation that they're not hearing my smoke detector go off all the time. All right, so thank you, Judy. So Marilyn asked me, the corgi came out. Regarding the multi-placer, do you just roll tape between your fingers and push it into the placer by hand? It works so well that one time I got it right, but it's usually uneven, lumpy, no matter how I put it in. Do you trim the tape to be flush with the placer? I'm thinking I'm making this harder than it is. Okay, so I guess I don't even remember what I said in that unboxing. I have been using double-sided tape in my multi-placer. Right now, this is double-sided tape. So my tape is working so well in that one that I don't know if I want to replace the tape in that one, but I can replace the tape in that one. This one looks older. Replace the tape in this one here. So this is my two-placer, which I use, which I use in when I do my specials. So I do have several double-sided tapes, so I just choose one that is the closest size. I just realized I'm like totally zoomed in, and I don't know if that's long enough. And I usually do roll it up like a roll. After folding it a couple times. So there it is, a roll. And then I stuff it in here, but this is probably going to be a little too long. So I'll cut off a little bit of it with scissors, and then I will stuff it in. So there. It's in there. So maybe perhaps you're doing too long of a roll, too much, so that's why it's lumpy. So I think once you figure out how much length of tape you need to roll together to put into your multi-placer, remember that, and then you could just measure your tape to make sure that when you roll it up again, it'll be the same amount of tape. But that's pretty much what I do. And then now, see, there's tape in there. But yeah, that's what I do. I also have double-sided tape in my single placer, and I haven't found a good way of doing that. I just usually just kind of do the same thing where I kind of do the roll and then I squish it in there, and I'm like, okay, and then I get to scissors and I just do there, and then I start diamond painting, and then it starts kind of being a little too big, and then I start doing that again. So that's what I do for the single placer. But ever since I've used the double-sided tape, it's been my go-to. But like I said, once you figure out the length of double-sided tape you need to use, so I would record that somewhere or something, be like, I need to use a ½ inch, I need to use an inch, because a lot of the barrels of these multi-placers are a little bit different. Like the metal multi-placers are different than the plastic multi-placers in how much you need to put in there. So once you figure that out, and if you want to do it consistent, I would say write down like the length that once you find the one you're like, okay, that one worked out awesome. Once you figure that length out, just kind of remember that length, and that way you'll be more consistent in how much tape gets put into your pens. But what I'm guessing is you're putting too much. it actually works a little bit better not being too full. But I think once you figure out what length you need on there based off of your multi-placer and stuff like that, once you figure that out, just remember it and be like, ooh, this one worked out really well, and just be like, okay, that's what I need to do to just be more consistent. Figure out the length of the tape to use on there. So thank you, Marilyn. Okay, so Bibbing Franco asked the same thing. How do you put the double-sided adhesive in your multi-placer? Now I feel like I have to make a separate video about this. Yeah, well, yeah, because that's 2 questions in a row. So Latanya asked me, what's the difference between the stained glass painting versus the regular diamond painting? Oh, so this was actually a question in a pretty old diamond painting that I did of a rose on stained glass that I got crystal rhinestone drills for. And I guess you're asking what's the difference between the crystal rhinestone and the regular drills. Is, I mean, a lot of the crystal rhinestones are a little see-through, and they have the silver backing on them, so they just have a different kind of shine on there, and it's different. Like I kind of like it. Like, see this, I put in crystal rhinestones in there, otherwise that would have just been gray. And I like using the crystal rhinestones to depict light. I like to use them for water. I like to just use them for, yeah, I like to use them for windows, but mainly I've been using them for light fixtures, water. Sometimes I use them for fruit. But yeah, I've been highly enjoying doing the full drill crystal rhinestone ones, so it's just different. At first, the very first one I did, I was like, this is weird. But after I did another one, and then another one, I've actually really grown to really like doing the crystal rhinestone diamond paintings. They just have a different shine to them. They are actually a little bit more difficult, I think, to diamond paint, just because the silver backing gunks up your adhesive a little bit more, so it doesn't stick to the canvas as well, and it also does, like, it also gunks up the adhesive that's on your pen, so you have to replace it more often. But I highly enjoy them, and I like how they look at the end. So another triangle. So is it this one? No, it's actually this one. See, these are both kind of brown ones. So I have to make sure I'm using the right... Oh no, this is green, but see, it looks brown at the top. So thank you, Latanya. So Barbara asked, this is actually just yesterday, she asked this, yesterday for me. She asked, with the budget diamond painting stores that sell the square DPs, is it the size and quality of the squares that cause the gapping, or is it the canvas? So what I've noticed, at least in my diamond paintings, is the resin drills tend to look and fit bigger on the diamond painting canvas. So they do tend to take up a little bit more space, I think, than acrylic drills. So there tends to actually be, it seems like there's less gapping with the resin drills, just because I kind of feel like they fill out the complete square more. But I almost feel like a lot of gapping is also the canvas. It's a combination of the canvas and the drills. A lot of canvases are printed a little bit too wide for the drills. Like, these drills are supposed to be 2.5 millimeters wide, and if you actually go on your canvas and get a ruler to it and start measuring like not just 1 centimeter, but like measure like 20 centimeters, you'll start seeing where it veers off from the 4 squares per centimeter. And most canvases actually veer off to they're wider than 2.5 millimeters. And those ones are the ones that I see that tend to have more gapping, especially if it's wider and they're using acrylic drills. And yeah, that's why usually the best ones with minimal gapping are the diamond paintings that use the resin drills, but also print their canvases with the 2.5 millimeters across, as opposed to the slightly wider. I kind of feel like some stores have done the slightly wider to prevent the popping, but I feel like if the drills are good quality, you're not gonna get the popping. And I feel like also the squares that are the resins actually don't have as much popping as the acrylic ones. I think just the way they're shaped tend to make it not pop as much. But I have gotten minimal gapping acrylic diamond paintings, mainly the ones that are the Huacan manufactured ones. I know those get a bad rep sometimes because of the popping, but they actually print their canvas smaller than the 2.5 millimeters. So their drills tend to have actually pretty minimal gapping. You just have the problem with it popping, but I kind of feel like popping is... like, minimal popping is a necessary thing to have the no gapping. So yeah, it's a trade-off. But the good ones are able to do both. Have the resin drills, have minimal gapping, and have no popping. It's just finding those ones that get a little harder to do. Alright, so I actually finished the section. Woot woot! So let me zoom you out. Here. So here is what I've done. Well, I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing on camera, so let me move you up a little bit. So there, yeah, I have this part here. This much done here, this part here. So this is what I said, that I'm actually starting in the center and then going that way, but I've been diamond painting it in this direction. So yeah, I think it's turning out pretty well here. I can see this bird here. I did actually add some ABs to this pumpkin, and I added this green AB here. And then there's my lantern, so now, hey, you can see the light. That's what I liked about the rhinestones. I've also decided to use rhinestones for the little butterflies. So there's like a little butterfly here, and there's like another butterfly here. So I do think I'm gonna use rhinestones for all the butterflies, just to make them just pop out from the canvas a little bit. I was thinking of doing the birds, but that was just too complicated. I was like, the butterflies should be easy. Alright, so that's all I have for today. So thank you for keeping me company while I diamond painted this. And thank you for watching, and happy diamond painting. Bye!